All right, people. I want to start off by saying that DYSG as a channel is racially charged. This channel that I do and what I do is for everyone. It's for the young, it's for the old, for the gay, for the straight, for the male, for the female, for the black, for the white. It's inclusive of everyone, and I don't try to discourage anyone from viewing or even being a part of what DYSG is. But it always hurts when I see that there are things in this world, specifically this country, that are always trying to cause division and strife amongst people. Now, recently, Marvel has come under a little bit of heat. I read the article from one of my reliable sources, comicbook.com. Shout out to you guys. And Marvel is facing calls to cancel Punisher after his logo, the character Frank Castle, by the way, was used by the Capitol rioters. I'm sorry, I keep seeing something on my nose. Sorry. Now, you all see the shirt that I have on right now. It's Punisher. Because I love Frank Castle. I love Marvel characters, especially Frank Castle. Not especially, not exclusively, but I do love Frank Castle. Now, on Wednesday, January 6th, insurrectionists stormed the United States Capitol in a domestic terrorist incident as members of Congress attempted to count the electoral college votes to certify former Vice President Joe Biden as the next president of the United States. After many of those insurrectionists were spotted donning apparel that included the logo of Marvel's Punisher, fans are now wondering if the House of Ideas should cancel the character for good. Now, throughout social media, these fans, quote unquote, and fans of Marvel in general are calling on the publisher not only to address the issues at hand, but potentially retire the character altogether from future stories. Now, I don't know who these fans are, but they're nobody that I know. And if I'm being honest, it's no one that I really want to know. Because these fans understand simple general logistics, meaning that the line between reality and fantasy, moving on to a little bit of history here, Frank Castle, the Punisher, first debuted in the Amazing Spider-Man number 129 in 1974. He was a villain at the time. Since then, however, he's been transformed into an anti-hero. Even though he uses his massive arsenal to kill criminals rather than apprehend them. More recently, the character's logo has been co-opted by the extremist groups that had a hand in storming the Capitol. Groups such as the Proud Boys, Oath Keepers, Three Percenters, and of course the infamous MAGA. Yes, MAGA is an organization. Don't get it twisted. After insurrectionists were seen wearing the logo on dozens of live news broadcasts, prominent sporting the brand a half-wit. He further went on to say, I've said this before a couple of times, but no one actually wants to be the Punisher. Nobody wants to pull 3 tours of duty in a combat zone with the last one going catastrophically wrong, come home with a head full of broken glass, see their families machine gunned into bloody offal in front of their eyes, and then dedicate the rest of their lives to cold, bleak, heartless slaughter. No one wants that. I wouldn't want that. Would you want that? No one would. No one would wish that on their worst enemy, if they had enough heart anyway. Logo in this context are kidding themselves. Just like the police officers who wore it over the summer, what they actually want is to wear an apparently scary symbol on a t-shirt, throw their weight around a bit, then go home to the wife and kids and resume their everyday lives. They've thought no harder about the Punisher symbol than the half-wits that he saw on Wednesday, the ones waving the stars and stripes while invading the Capitol building. Over the past few years, Jon Bernthal's Punisher series on Netflix brought the character back to mainstream audiences, as we know. An increasing number of police officers have started to use the logo as well. Punisher co-creator Gary Conway previously said any law enforcement official that chooses to use the logo is an outlaw. Now, speaking of Jon, an artist by the name of Yan Dallin posted Jon's portrayal of the Marvel character from the now canceled Netflix series on his Twitter account. It was retweeted, and the actor caught a glimpse of the caption. The caption stated that I'm a Punisher fan, no matter how many nut jobs steal his logo. I'll still be a Punisher fan. They don't understand what it truly symbolizes. If they did, they wouldn't wear it. And I'm not going to let them take it from me. He then retweeted the artwork with his own reply saying, I'm with you. Beautiful work. These people are misguided, lost, and afraid. They have nothing to do with what Frank stands for or is about. Big love, Jay. All of this is dumb, and I'm going to tell you why. Outside of the fact that the Punisher, being a fictional character, Frank Castle is a bloodthirsty outlaw vigilante suffering from PTSD and severe mental, physical, and emotional trauma. Now, let's talk about that trauma for a second. Now, we all suffered from the trauma of watching brothers and sisters in the streets or in their homes be gunned down, killed, slaughtered by police officers, the ones who have sworn to protect us. Now, I didn't know Tamir Rice. I didn't know Michael Brown. I didn't know Gabriela Navarez. I didn't know George Floyd. I didn't know Breonna Taylor. And most recently, Patrick Warren. I didn't know any of those people. But the trauma that it left on our hearts and our emotions, in our psyches, to have to see this happen over and over again, it does something to you. It leaves a scar. Scars that don't heal right. They heal wrong. You know how when you break a bone and it don't heal right. That's what's happening when we see these things occur on the news and in the streets from the officers who swore to protect us. It's the many Black Americans shot and killed by police, most of whom also wear the Punisher logo on and off duty. You don't think that these people's families want to take revenge on you? Their spouses, their parents, their children, their family? I know if it was me, if someone came in my home or even just at a traffic stop, could you imagine having a tail light out and then there's some guy coming around the corner with a hard on for squeezing his trigger, and he just happens to not like you because of the skin you were born in. And you just happen to notice on his sleeve, there's a Punisher logo. What does that mean to you? That doesn't communicate to me that I'm going to get to go home tonight. It communicates to me that I'm not going to get to go home ever again. Gross misrepresentation of the symbol and other symbols for that matter. I see you also wearing that Superman symbol. Other symbols that are misused and abused by hate groups, and if I'm being honest, until they can collectively get their shit together, police officers. And I'm sorry for any family or friends who are officers that are good cops. I am sorry that the many have to suffer for the few because of the few. But I, for one, am tired of the many suffering because of the few. And that few is a few too many. Don't put those symbols on. Don't wear a Punisher logo. You're not a bit on a Superman S either, unless you're ready to be a symbol for hope. Because you're not a symbol for hope. You're a symbol for hate right now. I watched the same videos you guys watched after George Floyd was killed. I saw a little boy, couldn't have been no more than my son's age, outside playing, and he saw from one side of the street a cop car coming down the street. You know what he did? He hid behind his car, or his parents' car. Could have been a van. He hid behind it until the cops drove away. Why do you think that is? Because he was afraid of his life. He was afraid for his life. That's what's being taught. That's what we're seeing. It sucks, but it's real. And for you racist hate groups out there, you are the direct representation of what characters like the Punisher are against, just so you know. You walking up in the Capitol building waving a Trump flag, waving a Confederate flag, which, by the way, is probably some of the stupidest shit ever. The South lost. It's documented. You're going in there claiming that you're a patriot and you're flying the wrong flag. How idiotic can you be? It doesn't make sense. But you embody the very essence of what heroes that we read in the pages of our comics, heroes that we watch on our TV screens. You are what those heroes aren't. Marvel, don't listen to these people. If anyone is from Marvel watching this, don't destroy a character because of idiots. You don't see Marvel getting rid of Spider-Man because some kid tried to climb the walls once. You don't see them getting rid of Thor because someone may have tried to go into a hardware store and lift a sledgehammer and couldn't get it up. I know none of those things probably happened. But my point is, instead of Marvel getting rid of the character, let these hate groups know and police officers know that this logo is not for you. Hell, even sue them if they try to wear it. That's all I gotta say, man. This is dumb. But I had to speak on it. I was gonna speak on it during the podcast, but I had to give it to y'all tonight. So as always, people, live to play to win to live. And please, please live. I speak geek. Do you speak geek?